morning with Becki Lendrum, Head of Sport here at Great Ballard, in what is one of the warmest places in school, usually on a cold morning. That's not a bad thing, I don't think, that we're here. So morning Becki, nice to see you.
Good morning.
And COVID, it's had a bit of an impact on sport, it's fair to say. So tell me, what are some of the things that you and the school have been doing to cope with COVID during this period in the lockdown?
So I think the first thing that we've been focusing on is pupil wellbeing, so giving them choices. So currently we offer children to go out and do their own thing in their time. We've also set a variety of personal challenges, so little things that they can achieve one step at a time. And then for others who love the contact and like the feedback, we run all our lessons live as well. So we've really blended our online and our in-person curriculum.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your sporting journey. I mean, obviously you are now head of sport. You've worked in a number of schools, but what was it that got you into sport to start with?
I think it's a cliche, but I think it was my PE teacher, always encouraging me to do whatever sport. I remember at school I was in the basketball team, I was in the hockey team, I was in the netball team. There wasn't a football team at school, so I did that outside of school, and that maybe was my brother's influence getting me into that. But yeah, my PE teacher was definitely my biggest influence.
Brilliant. Tell me a little bit about the football. Girls' football has grown enormously anyway over the last few years, but that's actually the sport probably that you achieve most in.
Definitely, yes. I mean, when I go all the way back when I started playing and got into a team, by 11, the only league for girls only was an under-16 league. So at 11 years old, I was playing with under-16s, which was an eye-opener, to say the least. And then my women's football journey started when I was 13 or 14 as I progressed into the team. So yeah, it's taken me so many places, and that's what I'm most grateful for with my
So I can tell you don't want to sing your own praises, but you must share this. So where did you get to with your football?
So at my peak, I was playing in the Women's Premier League, so mostly for Southampton, and I also got invited for England trials at under-16 level, and I represented Great Britain for the English universities team, and so we went away, and it just opened up a whole new world. I got to go to Lilleshall Academy and train. I got to go to Bisham Abbey and do my England trials, so I've really seen different places through doing my
Fantastic. I mean, that's lovely to hear. Now, our own children then, their ambitions and your ambitions for them, and what would you see as your number one ambition for the students here?
I think it's just to engage them and make them love sport. If you don't love something, you're not going to continue doing it. So first of all, it's developing that passion and then helping them on their journey in whatever way that may be. So the support with club links, so linking them with local clubs to excel their journeys even further, county commitments, and just opportunities for them.
So Becki, you've worked in some bigger schools. This is a smaller school and we're proud to be small. And what does that mean is different in our sporting provision here?
I think every school will say that the individual matters and that they'll do everything for the individual, but the reality is that's very hard to do as the numbers get bigger and bigger. And yes, you get a very good top end, but often the ones at the bottom end fall out of love in sport. And I think here we genuinely can cater for everybody's needs and find that thing for them, their passion, their thing.
What other sports can we do here that are going to make sure that every child does find a sport that they can love?
The beauty of Great Ballard is our brilliant school ground. So obviously we've got the swimming pool, which we can use not only for swim training, but also to complement other sports training. And then we can also look at things like slightly different sports like mountain biking, cross-country running. We're in the process of setting up orienteering courses around the school site. So there really is a lot of individual sports that we can do, including golf, that we have the space for, and also that can be used to train other sports, so complement those sports.
Great. So Becki, next year, year 9, joining the school, and your background is mostly, I think, in secondary, so you'll be well prepared for that. So firstly, what I wanted to know is in terms of academic Pe and qualifications, is that something you want to offer here?
Absolutely. So I think it's such a great academic subject to take because it covers so many other areas as well, and so many other spheres of education. So we will be looking again to do that personal journey and decide whether a GCSE is right for a child in sport, or maybe a BTEC course is right for a sport, or maybe a non-examined area of sport, so just the participation.
And you're taking on a pastoral role in that part of the school, which I know is something new for you. What role does sport play in well-being?
So I think sport plays a huge part of mental well-being. I know personally the doom and gloom of the second lockdown or third lockdown, and post-Christmas blues and the short notice and all the uncertainty. I decided to set my own personal fitness challenge, and that was to run every day. So run every day throughout January. It doesn't matter how far, doesn't matter what time you do it in. And it was enormously beneficial for my family as well, who started joining in. Because we haven't put pressure on ourselves in terms of targets and what we're going to do, we just knew we had to get out every single day. We're actually continuing it. So it's become a habit now rather than a challenge that we're going to do. So small steps.
Well, thanks very much, Becki. I think we ought to finish today by actually getting out there, exploring the facilities a little, and actually doing some sport. A little bit of competition. Here for the big match of the morning, penalty shootout between the headmaster and the head of sport. You know who's going to win this, don't you? So very simple. If you score, you answer a question. If I save, I answer the question. Let's go.
Mrs. Lendrum, what are your favourite sports?
Football, surfing, snowboarding and ice hockey.
Miss King, what was your greatest sporting achievement?
Lasting 90 minutes without having to be substituted.
Oh, Miss Lendrum, who was your toughest opponent?
Oh, I know, Marianne Spacey at Arsenal when I played against her, but I got a nutmeg against her in the match and that was my claim to fame.
Miss King, funniest teammate?
Oh, definitely Aurea Duba, Strictly Come Dancing winner. Should have played in goal, ended up on pitch. Terrible.
Most boring sport to watch?
Oh, they're all fantastic. Definitely netball, just for Mrs. King.
Teams you support?
Liverpool, although I should say Southampton because I paid for them for 21 years. Sorry, Southampton.
Best ever goal?
Oh, against Northern Ireland at the British Universities game.
Most embarrassing moment?
That one a minute ago.
Sport you are worst at?
Anything that involves dancing.
Least favourite team?
Ooh, this is a tricky one. I've got to say, Manchester United.
World Cup or Olympics?
World Cup.
So, there we have it. Whatever happens in the edit, I want you to know that you all clearly should have seen who won. Anyway, great fun. We can't shake hands. We can't even really do an elbow bump. Nice game.